What's up, Zer0 Division Members, and Riku here, and welcome to my review for Volume 31 of Berserk. This is more than likely going to be a very quick review, simply because not a whole lot happened in this volume. It was basically just a lot of battles, and I'm not going to complain about that. I love the battles in Berserk. I love the artwork. And I loved the team-ups that happened in this volume, specifically Shirke and Guts fighting against Daiba, along with Serpico helping out as well. Then we see, them having to fight against Ganishka as well. And I really liked getting a look into the Kushan's powers and just exactly what they can do and what kind of spells and whatnot they can use. It was very interesting. And a lot of the stuff that they can do was touched on by Shirke and Flora back during the Conviction arc and whatnot. Not the Conviction arc, I'm sorry, after the Conviction arc with Shirke and everything, about the Undines and all that. Like, Daiba was using a snake to get a giant water serpent because they were enchanting and summoning Undines and whatnot. So that was very interesting. And just the teamwork between Guts, Serpico, and Shirke was very enjoyable. As always, the battles are amazing in Berserk. Now, I like that Shirke and Guts were basically working together. Shirke once again brings Guts back from the edge of chaos. Guts actually gains control of himself, so now he's wearing the Berserker armor while keeping the Beast of Darkness under control, trying to not give himself to the Beast of Darkness, to the hatred, to the anger, to the malice, but still use it enough to fuel the Berserker armor so he can do work against Daiba. And they did defeat Daiba in the sense that they defeated the big water serpent. However, they didn't get to kill him. And Ganishka shows up. And we get to see just what Ganishka truly uses, and that's lightning. He's the Lightning Emperor, as the one chapter is entitled. And I feel like him showcasing his power was very much needed. Because we've seen that he's able to show up as like a mist and stuff. But we never truly seen his... Wow, I almost knocked over my coffee. We never truly got to see his overall power. And in this volume, it kind of gives us a hint at just how strong he is. He was doing work against Guts, and Guts, took a chance and put his, the Dragon Slayer down, so lightning strikes at higher places. So now he's underneath the Dragon Slayer, allowing the Dragon Slayer to work as a lightning rod. Meanwhile, Zod and a bunch of the Band of the Hawk's apostles show up, and they're trying to eliminate Ganishka. And you get to see just how strong Ganishka is, because Zod and the other apostles, they're attacking him, trying to spread him out, and he just continues to reform and reform and reform. Because you have to realize Ganishka in this form is I think Daiba called it an imperial body, which is more than likely just a astral projection, sort of, but in the physical realm. You need to actually get to Ganishka's body to kill him, and that's just me speculating, but that makes the most sense. And we see this dude doing work against Zod and the other apostles. He actually knocks Zod out, and at the end of the volume, Zod falls into Guts. And now we have Guts kind of trapped underneath Zod, and they look like they're going underwater. Now, my theory is, or my prediction is, that Zod and Guts are going to somehow try to work together to get rid of Ganishka's imperial body. Now, the problem with that is, if it can continually reform and reform, how will they be able to do so? Well, maybe they can sort of heat up the air so it gets dried out. That way his misty fog body will no longer be able to exist or something. I'm sure they'll figure something out if it ends up being Zod and Guts working together. And honestly, that would be pretty interesting to see, because they've always been on the opposite side of the battlefield, fighting against each other. It'd be cool to see these two rivals and enemies working together to get rid of Ganishka, because they both have a reason to get rid of him. If they don't get rid of him, they're both more likely going to die. Now, like I said, this shows just how strong Ganishka is. This dude is taking out a bunch of apostles with his imperial body, but I want to see just how strong this dude is when he's face to face with, say, Griffith or Guts or another apostle, and he's in his regular body. If somebody can actually get face to face with him, I want to see what kind of strength he has then. Because right now he's kind of fighting from afar. He's using this imperial body, as Daiba called it, to take out his enemies, and they can't hurt him because it's basically a body of mist or fog or whatever the hell he is. So I look forward to seeing just exactly how they're going to eliminate you know, his Imperial body, and if Zod and Guts actually do end up working together. You can see the look on Guts' face. He's completely surprised that Zod's being overwhelmed by Ganishka. He knows how strong Zod is. He always was pushed back by Zod. And to see Zod be, you know, overwhelmed by somebody else, I think that kind of puts things in perspective for Guts. However, we haven't seen Guts fight Zod while in the Berserker armor yet. We've seen him fight Grunbeld, and he was actually pushing Grunbeld back. I don't know if Zod's stronger than Grunbeld or not. Maybe they're on the same, you know, playing field. I don't know. But I guess we'll maybe see this later. You know, I don't really know what exactly happens later. I like Serpico once again wondering if Guts is going to turn on them once he defeats all the enemies, if Guts is going to turn on them, and then once again Guts is able to come back, and Serpico wonders, you know, there's a few instances where Guts gets thrown into the air by Daiba by a water spout, and he flips himself, uses the pressure, the wind pressure of his sword to create wind pressure, and what happens is he directs his fall. And Serpico wonders, you know, is that Berserker instincts or was that something else? Well, it wasn't Berserker instincts because at that point in time, I believe Guts was back to normal. He pretty much suppressed the Beast of Darkness and he used his own strategy and intellect to do that. So it kind of proves to Serpico, you know, maybe Guts can control it along with Shirkei's help. But he also still has his doubts because he wonders if that was the Berserker armor's instinct or if that was Guts basically doing it. So, like I said, not a whole lot happens in this volume, but it does a good job of showcasing Daiba's power, Ganishka's power, and just how strong he truly is in his Imperial body. But we still need to see what his strength is if he's face-to-face in his regular body. And obviously, Griffith isn't on the scene. It's just Zod and a bunch of, like, random apostles. But it does set up that unique situation where Zod and Guts might be able to work together against Ganishka's Imperial body. So I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. But I also enjoyed seeing, you know, like, Farnese and Casca and Roderick and Magnifico and Serpico and everything. Their like looks on their faces while Serpico and Guts were fighting against Daiba, they were completely like surprised. They were surprised by the power of Daiba. They were surprised that Guts was able to go head to head with him, and Serpico was able to kind of go toe to toe with him as well. And obviously, the entire time, Magnifico is the comedy relief. He's completely thrown off. He's like, "What the hell is going on here?" You know, he has a fish in his mouth. It's just absolutely hilarious. Meanwhile, Puck is doing all his references. You know, how he does references to, for example, like how he sometimes is Yoda. He does like a Saint Seiya references. He doesn't do those exactly in this volume, but he does other ones. And I also like the little cliff notes in the volume where he says, "covering my navel," because a Oni or something would steal people's navels, and that's why Puck did that, covering my navel, because Ganishka kind of looks like a giant Oni. An ogre, basically. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. And I love how Kentaro Miura adds these things into his volumes, or into his chapters, into his series and whatnot. But I think that's pretty much it. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about. At one point, I thought Farnese was actually going to try to do thought transference with Guts because Shirkei was kind of out of commission for a moment. And I thought Farnese was going to try to help Shirkei bring Guts back from the edge of chaos and help him suppress the Beast of Darkness. But at the same time, I was like, Farnese really doesn't have, you know, those capabilities yet. She doesn't have the experience. She's not experienced enough to do something of that caliber like Shirkei again. So I kind of was wondering if she was going to try, but she doesn't even try it. So I was kind of disappointed with that. Would have been interesting to see if Farnese, what she was thinking inside, like, I wish I could help or something of those, you know, along those lines. But there was a lot of other stuff going on at that point. So I can understand why Kentaro Miura didn't focus on that. But let me know your thoughts on the volume, guys. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Leave a like if you feel I deserve it. Subscribe if you haven't done so and you want to see more Berserk reviews along with other content that I do on the channel. You go to the homepage of the channel, you'll see a bunch of different sections on the channel with different playlists. For example, manga, volume and chapter reviews, anime live reactions and reviews, anime episode reviews, TV series reviews. I'm going to be doing gaming soon as well. So if any of this interests you and you're a new viewer, feel free to hit that subscribe button. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.